Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Myotroma Amritam Gamaya, Om Shanti 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 Om. It is such a phenomenal path, the path of the divine, and tonight we will delve deep, deep, deep into all the nuances of what it is. Remember from last satsang we did was the beginning of this powerful mantra was from Untruth to Truth. And but now we will continue the journey. What really is powerful invocation of Asatoma Sadgamaya and looking at all this tribulation, the obstacle of a sincere seeker who really wants to free him or himself and discover the true you of who you are, you divine presence. And there was a beautiful happening here lately in our garden, and I would love to share the story with you. And it's actually quite a rare opening. And this is not a joke. This is true, what happened. And it was very recently. There was an owl, and she was having a conversation with an eagle. And the two were talking about enlightenment. What is enlightenment? And they were having this deep conversation. And the owl says to the eagle, he said, enlightenment is seeing the light. And is seen in the light. And no, the eagle retorted, said, no, my friend, you got it all wrong. No, enlightenment, no, actually, the owl said, is seeing the darkness, I'm sorry. And all seeing the darkness and see the darkness. And then the eagle says, no, you got it all wrong. It's the opposite, my friend. The eagle says, is seeing the light. And seeing the light and in the light. And they were arguing like that for about 1 hour. And suddenly they got into a fight. And there was, out of a sudden, there was a little baby lamb just came out of nowhere. She just sat there and closed her eyes. And then the two of them were like startled, and they say, what's going on? Where is she coming from? And she sits and she closes her eyes and she goes into deep meditation. And then they stop. That was the purpose. They completely stopped fighting. And then suddenly the baby innocent lamb opened her eyes and she said, enlightenment is seeing the light and darkness with your eyes open. Enlightenment is seeing darkness with your eyes closed, and also the light. And so both of you are right. Either you see the light when your eyes are closed and you see darkness too, and your eyes are open and you see darkness and you see the light. And they were stunned, and they closed their eyes and they just sat there. And they ponder upon this revelation. So the path, does it sound familiar? Because the path of liberation, you could say the path of enlightenment, the path of self-realization, is really awaken to clarity within yourself and removing all those obstacles. But truly to be successful on the path from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment, is to be able to see that there's two ways that can be attained and how to go about that. And it is quite simple to be enlightenment, because when you look at the word enlightenment, the word itself says in between and man there's light. So you could say enlightenment is the light and ignorance is darkness. And so like I said, this is not a story, but it has a profound meaning, because the one who are really successful on the path are the one who walk like a child, like with those quality. Didn't Jesus Christ said that, how did he say that? Let the children...
Become like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, he said, let the children come to thee and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven is for these. And so that little lamb, that innocent lamb, was embodying exactly those qualities of innocence and childlike, vulnerable, receptive, open, and in complete surrender. And that's the hardest thing to do for someone who has a strong ego, has a strong mind, and has strong karmic structure. But before we go delve deeper into all of this, I want to welcome everyone online. Namaste. It's wonderful to have you back and all of you here after being gone. I feel like I've been gone for ages. It was quite a deep journey. And let's take a deep breath together and unite our soul and spirit and heart. And sit comfortably with your spine erect and turn your hands upward. And close your eyes and look through your third eye, your ajna. And then just let's be united in this moment by one breath. Mindfully allow your inhale to go up and down. And relax into this one. Let it go. Let go of your mind. Leave it at the front door. And feel the air, the prana flowing, going up and down. And relax deeper into this one. And when you breathe like that, it brings you back to this present moment. And you feel, you bring your awareness going up and down. It's as if your divine presence follow in your spine. It's been said that Shiva himself said that the spine is the Merudanda, is the axis between earth and infinity, that where the divine consciousness flow, the divine energy flow, and that is the path of complete illumination. And so when you practice that on a moment-to-moment daily, something really magical happened there. And it's part of the path of self-realization, is to bring yourself back to this existential moment. So to go back to where we were, there is several ways to look at Asatoma Sadgamaya. Absolute truth. Absolute truth is what is omnipotent, omnipresent, unchanging. It's always there. It's universal law. And that we will look at what is enlightenment and what is the path from darkness to light. But it will be more on a scientific level. However, we will delve more into the relative truth in this satsang, because that's really what is so useful for the sadhika. Sadhika is just mean from Sanskrit, one who is in sadhana, one who does spiritual practices, who is a sincere seeker, who is willing to break all the boundaries of ignorance, who is willing to say, I don't know, I want to go beyond doctrine, dogma, and religion, a system of belief that was inculcated to me. I want to know beyond what is the absolute truth. So the light in the absolute truth comes from darkness. Is not the case with you? Most people think the light, the divine light, that's all what it is, that the rest is not divine. But actually it's quite the opposite, because light comes from darkness. And I don't know if you're aware of that. 98 to 99% of the unmanifested space in the cosmos, what we call Shiva, you could call it either Shiva, which means that is unknown, that is omnipotent, omnipresent, but it's a pure consciousness. And we can say as well that that unmanifested space that is pure consciousness, we call it also Nirgun Brahma. Namaste, beloved. Nirgun Brahma, again, is pure consciousness. So can you imagine 99% of the unmanifested space that manifests, namaste, that manifests also can unmanifest. That is darkness. So light is very little. And in the relative realm, light could not come if it was not of darkness. Have you realized that? So everything in the cosmos is absolute truth, pure consciousness. And the divine is in darkness, because a lot of people are afraid of darkness. But also the word darkness has, in the yogic tradition, or on the path of self-realization, you could say darkness is more equated to ignorance. You can say darkness is ignorance. So we're talking about from darkness to light. Darkness is ignorance. Enlightenment is the light. That's why tonight I chose to combine ignorance, combine the light, walking from the light to darkness, and ignorance to enlightenment. We were going to do another satsang on that, but when I was reflecting, I said they are so much one that they need to be talked about at the same time. Next satsang, we will talk about the ego, which is a whole other satsang. Will be fascinating. So the relative truth of untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment. What is it walking that path? It's a small percentage of people who walk that path. And it can be many, many lifetimes. Sometimes you're not even aware you are, but the moment you're conscious of it is when you made a conscious decision, I want to free myself from the karmic structure of samsara, of suffering, of pain. I don't want to reincarnate. Why doing this all over again? Be born again, get married, give birth to children, and go to the bathroom, do the same thing over work. And when you become aware and you starting breaking boundaries of ignorance, and you want to end the suffering, and you made that conscious decision, is the day you could say you have walked a real, even though there is not such a thing of walking the path, it's a pathless path. It's just a metaphor to express what is Asatoma Sadgamaya. It's a pathless path. Yoga is about self-realization, is to realize that the whole cosmos is within your own being, and your own being is with the whole cosmos. Not an intellectual thing. It is very experiential, I can tell you that. So the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven that Jesus Christ talked about, let the little children come to me, don't stop them. And it's for these they can experience the heaven, the kingdom. And it's right here inside. It's right here in your divine presence, beloved. Right now you can experience that. And we'll touch about that. How can you experience that tonight? So the tribulation of walking from ignorance, from darkness to light, and ignorance, enlightenment, there are many. The obstacles are many. And their nuances are many. But tonight, we're going to focus on 5, which are the most important one. The most, even if you're not truly walking the path as a sincere seeker, just if you're just looking at for spiritual growth, this will bring about some revelation and some insight. But for you who are truly really want to experience, who am I? What am I doing here? What is the meaning of my life? What is the meaning of this earth? Don't you ask yourself that question? What about you, beloved, online? Don't you ask those questions? Are you tired of suffering? If you are, write it in the chat. And feel free to write any comment. And if you have any question as we go, we will pause and we will have a question session. And we will continue into empowering the initiation of this mantra tonight. So you will learn this mantra. And we will have a beautiful, powerful, guided meditation. We will take you to Mount Kailash tonight. What about that? Do you like to go there? Yeah? Wonderful. So, beloved, what about you? If you're willing, just write it in the chat. Yes, I'm willing, I'm open, I'm receptive. So I can tell you because I have walked that path. I know it. I know the nuances, I know the tribulation, and I know the glory, because the glory and the reward is beyond. And the thing is that most people don't know it. I would say, I don't know the percentage for sure, we cannot, but it's a very high percentage, as most people have no idea of their full potential. I don't mean in terms of manifesting what you want in this life. I mean in terms of who you are. That one of my previous former guru in many lifetimes, I've been on that path for a long time, said, it's blasphemy to say that you're not God. And I would agree with that. For religion, if you say that, it would be blasphemy. But when you self-realize and you became one with the Father, or the Mother, doesn't matter, mother or father, that is just of the relative realm. The absolute truth is you can become one. You already won. It's not even becoming. You already won with it. It's a question of getting rid of your garbage. Get rid of the accumulation. Because let's look at the obstacle. One of the main obstacles, I'm sure some of you will have guessed. Let's see, let's ask that question. What do you think is the most obstacle for your happiness and to let go of the suffering and the pain of this physical realm. Anyone wants to give a chance? What do you think would be the biggest obstacle? Anyone want to raise your hand? Say it out loud.
It's like when you are born, it's time to go to work.
No, that's not an obstacle.
It's like,
That's
welcome to planet Earth. Now get to work.
well,
What are you going to do for this place?
yeah.
Say egocentricity.
Okay, ego.
Okay.
Ego, you got it. No, ego is a big one. No, but what Lauren says is related to ego and the mind. The mind says, no, I'm lazy. I don't want to go to work. You see what I'm saying? They are related. How ego behave and how the mind behave. So mind, let's look at the mind and ego. Ego is deeply associated with personality. Let's go look at the mind first of all, because the mind is also associated with ego and personality. They're together, but the first one is the mind. Second one is personality. Mind will trick you. Mind is full of memory. What is memory? It's karma. Karma is just, karmic structure is just a memory. It's so deep imprinted in your physical body, into your subtle body, and in the unconscious mind, that it's like a default on autopilot. If you have accumulated energy habit in your personality, in your ego, and you're not conscious of them, it will make you suffer a lot, a lot. And most people takes many lifetimes to wake up and realize, oh my God, to become aware, what are my energy habit? And we'll talk about that because the energy habit is a big obstacle. So what is personality? Personality is like and dislike, what you have accumulated, all the conditioning from family, society, government, media, religion, family, teacher, and we can go on. And it happened from the day you're born. That's personality. That's not you. That's not who you are. That's not the true you. Tonight is about discovering the true you. What is the true you? So the mind is not the true you. It's not your true self, your divine presence. Your personality is definitely not who you are. Personality is full of energy habit. How many of you know what is an energy habit? Any one of you, beloved, online, you feel free to write in the comment section. And if you have questions, just hold on. If you have questions and we miss them when we have the session for that, you write it in the comment section if we miss it in the chat. Yes, what were you going to say? What do you think is an energy habit?
Something that you
Speak a little louder so everyone can hear you.
an energy that you have acquired growing up, learning from maybe your mother or your sister or whoever, from another person that you tend to act a certain way because of.
That's great, Lulu. You're very close. But I will add to that. What Lauren was saying, and it's true, but there's much deeper than that. Energy habit is where your energy is focused, number one. Number two, there's a pattern to it. It means it's a compulsive behavior. It is a stimulus response. Something will stimulate this energy habit, and you're not conscious. What you say it pretty much in different words, but it's similar. It's accumulated, it's conditioned, but it's compulsive. It can even be addictive. An energy habit can become very addicted. An energy habit is where it sucks your energy and you're not mindful of it, and you're not conscious of it, and you're not aware of it. And I'm sorry?
It's hard to break if you don't.
Is, well, first of all, how can you break it if you're not aware of it? And for most people, energy habit, they're not. A lot of energy happen in the mind. And this is where the biggest obstacle on the spiritual path. That's what we're focusing on, the spiritual journey of untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance, enlightenment. Those are big obstacles for sincere seeker. If you're serious, that's why we say this, the path to the divine is the path about breaking your limitation and your boundary. And that require, with your mind, there's two ways. Making a distance with your mind. Making a distance with the mind is done through sadhana. A lot of different kinds of sadhana. But some practice the sadhana, spiritual practices, for some of you who are not aware. Some of them are more powerful than others. Kriya Yoga in particular, and of course meditation and walking meditation, that comes into training the mind. This is the second way. Training your mind, you can train your mind, but it's not enough because the mind is like a wild horse. Actually, in Zen, there's a great story. I have said it many years ago. I'll say it again because some of you probably never heard the story. A monk was sitting and he was meditating, and a man passed by on a horse and he was galloping really fast. He was going crazy, out of control. And it made so much noise that the monk opened his eyes and he asked the man on the horse, he said, "My fellow dear beloved, where are you going like that, so crazy?" And he said, "This is wild." And the man says, "I don't know, how's the horse?" It is so funny. And it's true. The mind is like that. The mind is a wild horse. You got to train it. But I will tell you, beloved, it's not enough. You got to make a distance from the mind. And I will tell you also, making distance from the mind requires sadhana. I guarantee you that for sure. I know that because I experienced that throughout so many lifetimes. And it really takes both to really succeed and to be as a child with those beautiful quality of openness, receptivity, joyous, carefree, like I'm here, I'm open, which lead us to the third obstacle, which is being closed down. Yeah, you had a question? We'll keep question in the session though.
Okay, emotions, is
Uh-huh.
your emotions could be another obstacle.
Speak louder.
Our emotions are something that is very,
You mean as an obstacle?
yeah,
Oh,
for the spirit to deal with.
well, that's a great point you brought. I love that. I will tell you why. And I was going to, because I'm not finished talking about the personality. Part of personality, we said accumulation, conditioning, brainwashing, all of this. But personality also include like and dislike. Like and dislike will bring emotion. Emotion, if emotion are very important on the spiritual path, and I will tell you why. And that's why I love that you brought that up, Lauren, because emotion can be a big obstacle, but normally it's not. Because I will tell you why. Emotion comes and they go. You could be very angry, infuriated, but you get it out, you process it, and it fades away. You have sorrow, it will come, you process it, unless you repress it. But the very important point about emotion is in the yogic tradition, the great Maharishi, the great sages, thousands and thousands of years ago, they discovered the power of emotion in Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti from Sanskrit just means love and devotion. It means to channel your intensity of your emotion towards the highest, to the divine. And that is a path on its own, on the spiritual path. But it's also part of the path of self-realization, because when you're walking that path, there is always bhakti in it. There is always love and devotion. And I will tell you, from the deepest of my soul, spirit, and my knowledge and everything I have experienced for so many lifetimes on this path, you will never succeed to self-realize and, and to be liberated on this path if there is no devotion and love within your own. Because when you learn to start channeling this intensity of emotion to the highest, you can go completely in ecstasy. It's a huge tool on the spiritual path. That's why in my teaching and on the path, there's always bhakti. And eventually there will always be more, because eventually we'll have musicians, we'll have music, dancing, expressing the emotion and expressing that love to the divine is very, very important. And so when you have strong emotion, you can switch it and offer it to the divine, whatever is for you the divine, to the highest. And on the path of love, because it's just called the path of love, it's not a religion, it's not a doctrine, is you channeling those emotions and you offering those emotions. You expressing your deep love and devotion. Often is presented to your spiritual master, because you know why? It's the easiest. Because the guru is always the one who represents the divine in the flesh. It's just a vehicle, it's just a tool. That's all it is. Because it's very hard to express that loving devotion with such a high intensity to some kind of God, whatever we call it, Brahma, Shiva, Allah, so many thousands of names, Divine Mother, Supreme, Intelligent, to something impersonal that you have never expressed. So the kingdom of God is the divine presence, is Satchit Ananda. We have talked about that before. And some of you have got the glimpse of it. But when it becomes permanent within yourself, it's an experiential thing. You experience that all the time. So it's like, how do you describe what it is to eat a mango to someone who have lost their taste? How do you describe to a blind person what is the sunrise and the sunset? That's the same. But with tidbits of bhakti, of loving devotion in your heart, you know what you do, beloved? Is that you opening the gate, you allowing the sunlight to come in. Because what happens if there is no love and devotion within yourself when you're walking the spiritual path is the mind and the logic take control, take over. And then most people are not aware of what's going on in their mind. When you agree, judgment, the mind is always judging all the time, coming to conclusion too fast, coming to assumption. Look in yourself right now. Close your eyes. How do you go about your day? What's going on in your mind right now? Did you come here tonight with any judgment? Or maybe while you were here, any judgment? So that's the difference. that when you have love and devotion, is the madness of the divine, because it's really allowing an intelligent superior force to take over you. And the mind is not an obstacle anymore. Because for one who is in love with God, one who is in love with the divine, whatever is that embodiment, that pacification, will always put the mind away. I can tell you, because that's where you can really become intoxicated. So the third obstacle is exactly that, is to close down yourself. What close down oneself is saying, oh, I have heard that. I'm just giving you an example. It's the day you say, I know, okay, I know. Do you know how many layers there is on the path of Asatoma Sadgamaya? It could take many, 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 many lifetimes. And for one who is genuinely longing to experience and know the truth, can happen right here in this lifetime. But you got to open the gate. If you empower your ego, which is the fifth obstacle, biggest obstacle, is to empower your ego. Again, ego is related to personality, it's related to the mind, they all tied in. I mean, closing down and shutting the door, it is the end of you walking the path. It's the day you say, I know. The day that you're not humble anymore, and the day you don't have reverence anymore. That day that you feel like, again, it's the mind will say, oh, I have heard that. But what's phenomenal about the spiritual path of enlightenment is you could hear the same thing 50,000 times, but it never hits you. I can tell you that. And one day you'll hear it, and it will hit you differently. You will have some haha moment, some realization. So the nuances of the path are many. The tribulation, you will find a lot of obstacle and tribulation, and the shopping to go for a guru, going to this one, going to that teacher and that. You see that a lot, and never stick to one and to do the sadhana. It's good to explore. Don't get me wrong, it's necessary. But to delve a little bigger, a little deeper, for a little longer, it's very powerful. That doesn't mean that you need to be with this one for a whole lifetime, because as you evolve, you need new things. Sometimes not. It depends how deep is your love for that teacher. But the truth is, I will tell you, this is the truth. How deep you go in the love for your teacher is how fast you're going to self-realize. That has been my experience. It's the fastest way. So let's see how we're doing with time. So the relative truth, walking from darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment, can be quite easy when you approach it like a child. A child is playful. A child doesn't take it seriously and just go with the flow. And they're very accepting. And that is another big obstacle on the spiritual path, is not to accept. things as they are and not to accept people as they are. And that can be a big obstacle and very challenging. And each time you think that, oh yeah, I'm here, that's it, it's happening, it is, then you will be hit by another major crisis, and out of a sudden, you will be like a snake and you will shed your skin one more time. So, beloved, I will say to you, each time you empower your ego, you empower your energy habit, and you empower your mind, is you basically are seen like an owl and you seen like an eagle. So be like a little innocent lamp. Just stay in the state of I don't know. Because when you are in the state of I don't know, you're really truly walking from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment. And as I said earlier, not only making that distance from your mind through spiritual practices, but also training your mind with walking meditation and with many different mindful practices. And when we do the empowerment with the Siddha Sat Chit Kriyananda, I will impart also those tools as well. And so I really invite you to come. It will be September 21st. There is a possibility we might postpone it until the beginning of October, because there's a few people around the world have a few things, so we might postpone it. Just check the newsletter, and I really encourage you to come. It will be online via Zoom, so you could send an email, and also here in our private sanctum, and it will be a whole afternoon. It'll be super great. So please come. It's by donation. You could give it whatever you can to support our work. And so when you're not allowing yourself to break a boundary or a limitation, as I said, you're not being that innocent lamb. You being the all seen in darkness, or you being the eagle seeing in the light. What is enlightenment? A lot of people wonder, what is it? Because there's a lot of myth, a lot of misconception about enlightenment. A lot of people think, generally speaking, think enlightenment is people who are floating, walking on water, or creating miracle. No, beloved. That is the mysticism of the yogic tradition. And we'll do a satsang on that one day. It's a whole satsang. It's fascinating. It's definitely for someone who's enlightened, but it's not something we talk about much. Because what happens when you start talking about spiritual experience and mysticism of one who is enlightened, then it starts becoming an obstacle. And that is the biggest obstacle on the path, is wanting to have a spiritual experience, wanting to be able to heal people, wanting to, all of this comes from ego, by the way, wanting to have spontaneous kriya, wanting to have vision, wanting to speak in tongue, wanting this, and wanting to see the light in the third eye, wanting to see the blue pearl. All of that, I will tell you, beloved, they are the biggest obstacle. That's why Devi Mayi Ma always say, be like a little child. Because a little child, have you noticed how they are so zen? They're like cats. They are right here in this moment. Isn't that beautiful, the quality of a child and of a cat? They're really zen We can learn so much from a 5-year-old child. Not the childish, but the childlike quality of being zen, to be in the moment, not wanting anything, just to be here, joyous, playful. So in order to break a boundary, break a limitation, it requires mindfulness and awareness. Let's take a moment right now. Look deep inside, and for you, beloved, online as well. Look, what do you think is for you your biggest boundary or limitation right now? Because they will change. As you evolve, as you expand your boundary and your consciousness, it will evolve. You will encounter new obstacles. Because let's take a moment, and I want to make one point more, which I forgot, and then we'll go into the session of Q&A. Let's take a moment. And for you as well, beloved, wherever you are, be mindful of your breath right now. Look at it. And you, after that, you can even pause that question or write it in the comment section. What is your biggest obstacle or boundary right now in your life, in this moment? What is your biggest energy habit that you're becoming mindful or aware of right now? And I will say, by the way, the moment you become aware of it, you're already 90% there. It's just a matter of becoming conscious and aware of it. Then the rest, with grace and with your own discipline and self-effort and discernment, you will overcome it. I can tell you that. So write it in the comment section, or if you have a question. Now, the last big obstacle from darkness to light, and that's a big one, is the wrong view. You could say the wrong perception. And that is extremely common. Coming to conclusion very, very fast. Putting judgment, we already touched about that. And assuming. How many people assume? Because that is an energy habit. It's a big energy habit to spontaneously just assume and conclude without really questioning and leaving the door open. Wrong view is also, okay, let's say there is a little argument between you and your lover, or maybe with a beloved, a friend. And then you're focusing on one word, one thing, and you enlarge it. You make it so big. And then you dwelling on it for days and day night. And you enlarging it. And then your mind goes crazy. And then you're fueling in it with your own energy habit and compulsion. You seeing it through your binoculars of your conditioning, of your accumulation. And you're reinforcing that suffering. You're reinforcing that pain. Or it could be in a drastic situation to not just something casual, but something like, let's say, your daughter or your son is preventing you from seeing your grandchild. And you had a fight. And then it escalated in something, in a situation that is very dysfunctional. And you're not talking to your own child. and you being deprived to see your grandchild because of that. Everyone suffer. You suffer, your child suffer, and the grandchild suffer. I'm just giving you an example. But you, within yourself, you amplified the situation. You seeing it with the wrong view. What about you see it? Okay, this is becoming an energy habit of hurting myself and making myself suffering. I am going to free myself from it now. I'm going to forgive very deeply. First of all, forgive myself for the way I'm thinking. I am not blessing myself when I think that way. Have you realized that you're not loving yourself when you have a wrong view? You're hurting someone else. Well, not directly, but you are hurting yourself. If there's suffering involved, very often the person, most of the time we need to take responsibility from our own suffering, because most of the suffering comes from our own self. But it's true, there's stimulus from outside in the world. However, when you start seeing things with the right perspective, with clarity, because truly enlightenment, that's the most important thing, is to see things as they are, clear, objectively, not subjectively, not through the glasses of your conditioning, of your energy habit, of your compulsion, of your conditioning accumulation, is to see it directly. Do you know what it requires? It requires a lot of humbleness. It requires to really sit down and close your eyes and return to your breath and process your emotion and then say, whatever happened, I'm going to forgive. I'm forgiving myself for how I'm seeing things. I am not seeing this properly. That you empowering you divine presence. You're not empowering you ego. You see, I'm giving you a scenario of how it all tied in together. So let's go to question. Is there any question? And there is a question that came online a few days ago from a disciple in Egypt, and we will answer his question. It's regarding the whole deep invocation of Asatoma Sadgamaya, and it's from Morad, and is related to energy habit. But before we answer it, let's take question here in the sanctum and online. Any question here? And it could be related to your own limitation and your own boundary.
So there's good energy habits and bad energy habits?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. I will repeat. Is there good energy habit or there is bad energy habit? There is not such a thing as good and bad. It's all relative. There are energy habit. Energy habit are always, until you become mindful of them, they're always compulsive behavior, always, until you become aware of them. When you become aware of them, that's when you can do something about them. And there are many tools, many ways of doing that. And I will go more into that question and give some example of how you could overcome that. When you do something that you know is good for you, it's not a habit anymore. It's a focus of energy. A habit is something that you do repetitively and consciously. Like you could say a good energy focus. I would say more it's a focus, because a habit is a compulsive behavior. is something you constantly repeat, that you do unmindfully. You see what I'm saying? So a bad energy habit, it's not that it's bad. It's not empowering your divine presence. That's all. Because in the absolute truth, there is not such a thing as good and bad. Everything is relative on this realm of reality. But when you start behaving in a way that you're focusing your energy for the highest, and you're fully mindful and conscious, like for instance, having a sadhana. Every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, you go do your spiritual practices. You're doing it consciously. You cannot say it's an energy habit. It's not. Is that you're fully conscious, that you lovingly focusing your energy, allowing your presence, your divine presence. So an energy habit is related to something that you're doing compulsively and you want to stop. First, you need to become aware and mindful. 2, then you start to empower your divine presence with some yogic tool and with many things. And then it requires willpower and self-effort too. Did that answer your question? Because when you do something really good with a focus of higher frequency, higher energy, it's always done consciously, always done mindfully with tremendous awareness. Because that's what it's about. Enlightenment is expanding boundaries. And you can get a glimpse right here in this moment what is to experience your divine presence. When you're Zen and you have a Zen moment, you can experience that because in that moment, all karma drop. In this moment, you can experience.
Only Zen still.
I'm sorry?
Zen.
Huh?
Nothing.
Any more questions?
They are not writing question, they are writing whole paragraph online.
All paragraph.
Yeah.
Any question? That's good. Paragraph are good, but it's hard to answer question.
Not question.
If you have a question, please ask now is the perfect time. And then later on, Devi Mayi Ma will read your comment, will respond to certain things. But try to make it short if it's a question so we can address it right now. If not, I will answer the question that came in a couple of days for Morad in Egypt. And I will read it, and it was not too clear. I will read it because for everyone to understand better. And it was a wonderful question, profound. Okay, Devi Mayi Ma, I have a question to this satsang. I wanted to ask you, when there is a strong energy habit of possessiveness combined with a deep, deep, deep identity regarding to reproductive organs, do you have an idea, or how do you get rid of that? How can you transform that? It was a little confusing, the question, because it can be interpreted both ways, but the way, I will answer both ways. So it could be 2 things. Identification to your sex, gender, because any identification are a big obstacle on the spiritual path. And we didn't talk about that one. Thinking that you're male or female, thinking that you are your religious background, I'm Hindu, I'm Buddhist, I'm Muslim, or thinking you're gay, you're straight, you're lesbian, you're homosexual. You're not any of that. Those are big identification. You're male or you're female. That, not to be worried. You know, you're not the body, you're not the mind. Through spiritual practices, you will eventually break that boundary. as you experience more and more your divine presence with sadhana, that really requires sadhana, little by little, this start falling off naturally. And when you have a strong identification with your sex gender, you just go back to your breath and you say, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. And little by little, sadhana, the Kriya Yoga will do wonder for them. I can tell you with time, this shall pass. But I think your question is more related maybe to an energy habit that is related maybe to sex addiction, maybe to pornography, maybe to masturbation. And I know that from other question. And so maybe if that is the case, well, when like I've said earlier, the first step to break an energy habit is to become mindful of it. The fact that you're mindful of it, beloved, is already 95 or 90% of the work. When the addiction comes, you got to overcome it, because Jesus Christ said that you got to overcome your temptation. And I will tell you, it's so true. It is the best way to kill an energy habit. Is you've got to burn it in the fire of mindfulness. With mindfulness, you say no to your energy habit. I am not going to empower my energy habit. I'm going back to my divine presence. I am going to breathe. I am not going to put pornography on or whatever, smoking a cigarette. I am going to say no. It takes consciousness to put that cigarette butt. Smoking is an energy habit. And if you know it's bad for your health, the more you become conscious, the more you become mindful, you're going to take that cigarette and you're going to put it, and you will say, that's it. I'm not going to empower that energy habit. And then you can use your logic. Say, it's not empowering my highest good. It's not good for my health. I spend money. I will end up with lung cancer. It's the same thing. Pornography or any sex addiction will ruin your life. I can tell you that. I have seen that so many times. It will completely ruin your relationship. You will never have healthy relationship either with a male or a female. That is guaranteed. Masturbation is one of the most destructive things. And there are videos on that on Devi Mayi Ma. There's 2 videos you can watch, and they will come right after this live stream. The sexuality, what happened to your sexuality on the spiritual path as you evolve. There's another one about transmuting your energy with Varya and your Oja. Because as you transmute your energy habit, whatever it is, your energy habit, you're transmuting your energy. You're turning it into Oja. Oja is a life force. It's a life force. It's the essence of who you are. It's a distilled essence of your own energy that is empowering your whole subtle body, your etheric body, your causal body, your aura. It emanates. Someone who transmutes their sexual energy is very powerful. And that's why celibacy is the most beautiful virtue on the spiritual path. And so if it's related, possessiveness, I didn't understand what was meant by that, but maybe possessiveness in a relationship, again, you become aware of your energy habit. You say, oh, I'm very possessive of this person. And it's just a matter of to become aware. Possessiveness will destroy your life also. you start making a distance. If you feel you get some strong emotion because you become possessive or jealous, you ground yourself. You need some mindful tools, beloved. And one of the easiest one right now in this moment, and one of the most powerful one I have been imparting for a long time, takes discipline, it takes mindfulness, it takes awareness. That's how you become a master of your own energy. That's how you start vibrating at a higher energy. Bring yourself to this present moment. And you breathe and see where's your breath. I'm aware I'm having strong sexual addiction right now in this moment. I am not going to go empower my energy habit. If you eat chocolate at night before you go to bed and you're not conscious and you fall asleep, that is an energy habit. You know it's not good for your teeth. You know it's not good for your weight. It's not good for your health. That you got to become
Good.
It's certainly good. We all love it. Every great thing's in its own time with moderation. And again, love making is a very beautiful thing when it's done consciously. But don't waste your energy smoking cigarette, ruining your health, because it's just nervousness. It's like when you smoke, you think it relaxes you because you're nervous. It's an energy habit that is not empowering. I have smoked myself a long, long time ago when I was in my young age. And I used to be a jogger. I'm going to tell you the story. And it's short. And I would go jogging. I would come back. I would have my cup of tea. And I sit down, I would lit a cigarette. I didn't smoke that much, a few cigarettes a day. And it was not for a long time because I was very mindful. And it didn't take a long time. One day I came back and I was still sweating. I was sitting and I was having my tea. And I lit a cigarette. And I took one puff. And I said, what am I doing? This is so stupid. I just went jogging and I'm smoking. I took the cigarette and I went down and I smashed it in the ashtray. And I said, that's it. I'm never going to smoke again. I'm empowering my divine presence. I never smoke after that. But that was pretty stupid. That was an energy habit that needed to be killed. With mindfulness, everything is possible. You can use your logic too, because the logic helps in the beginning too. You look at all the bad things it does for you, your energy habit, whatever it is. But you got to apply mindfulness, beloved. And some energy habit, addiction in particular, will be very, very hard to break. But don't get desperate. The more you do sadhana, the more you breathe deeply and allow your divine presence and learn to master your higher frequency, your energy, to become a master of who you are, you will make progress. I can guarantee you that. But don't expect it will happen overnight. Some people gain mastery faster than others. It's all depending on your karmic structure. But don't get discouraged. I can tell you that. You can overcome everything. Anyone, before we move on, is there any more question before we move on? Don't be shy to talk. Anyone wants to share, say something about their energy habit? Have you become mindful of one? What would be the one you would love to get rid of? Because the energy habit, it might look small in your eyes, but it could be a big obstacle for you to break a boundary. Because often energy habits are like crunches on the spiritual path, but not healthy crunches. There are obstacles, you realize that. We got our little Shiva here with us. Any question? Online?
No, no question.
In the chat and in the comment section?
Yeah, everybody's unlucky.
Huh?
They don't have question.
No question? Sometimes we miss them because as we go along, the chat is running. If for some reason we miss a question, beloved, just write it in the comment section. And if we miss it, we can answer it later. You want to look again?
Nothing is there.
And nothing in the description?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. We right on time. Please sit comfortably and with cross-legged, with your hands turned upward, and close your eyes and look up at the ajna. And you will repeat after Devi Mayi Ma. Repeat after me. Let me say the first verse, and then you repeat out loud. And for you as well, and anywhere where you are on this planet with us, we're all joined together by our breath, our universal divine love breath. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Please repeat. Please loud. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityo ma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Louder. I want to hear much louder. Listen very carefully. This is that powerful mantra invocation from Untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment. That is the translation from Sanskrit. But what's most important in this invocation is the vibration. It's very vibration. Every sound has a vibration, and this has very high frequency. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Myotro ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyoti Sadgamaya. Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. A little louder, keep your eyes closed, look upward, look at your third eye, and breathe mindfully. Chant it with all your heart, your soul, and your spirit. And all of you, beloved, around the world. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyoti Sadgamaya. Rityoma Amritam Gamaya. Tamasoma Sata. Sorry, I got confused. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Sata Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Etyo Oma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's chant Om together. As you chant A, U, M, the primordial sound of the universe, chant it, let it vibrate from your lower, the region of the Muladhara and the heart chakra, where the U and M in the ajna. So it's A, U, M. And as you chant, it vibrates from your lower region to the Muladhara, to the Anahata, the heart center, and to your ajna. And let's start together for 5 minutes, and then we'll have a guided meditation. Keep your spine straight, nicely erected, cross-legged. You look upward towards your third eye. Your hands turned upward in the mudra of yoga, of receptivity. And we're going to chant together in unison. And that is the most powerful prayer of all, to resonate with the ultimate supreme sound. Before we do the guided meditation, for some of you we are not used to with guided meditation, everyone will lay down in Shavasana. Shavasana is the corpus pose. You lay down flat with your hands turned upward. If you have knee issue, put a pillow underneath your knee and make yourself comfortable. And beloved, for all of you around the world, after the end of this live stream, if you haven't watched the first Drinking Bliss Divine Satsang from Asatoma Sadgamaya, the phenomenal leap from Untruth to Truth, it will come up soon at the end when the live stream is completely recorded, and you'll be able to watch it. Very, very powerful, so you don't miss the beginning. And if you love this satsang, please share it with your friends and your family. Bring more people on the spiritual path so we can rise the consciousness and vibrate at a higher energy and radiate light together. And don't forget to subscribe and press the like button. And we love your comment, we love your questions, so don't hesitate. And so make yourself comfortable. You can move anything you want, wherever it's most comfortable for you. And if for some reason my voice is not loud enough or the music is not too loud, or too loud, please let us know. I would say, Lauren, the way you sleep is not a good way to do this. Yeah, because you're preventing the energy to flow.
I just lay back.
Oh, put pillow underneath. Put pillow underneath your knee. Would you? Is there another pillow? Yeah, put pillow. Put one of those pillows. Yeah. Make sure you're laying flat because the spine is very important for the energy to flow, and turn your hands upward because that's also very important, is the mudra of receptivity. So let's get started. And if we may have the music, and for some reason, if it's too loud, let us know. Just raise your hand, we'll know. And for you, beloved, close your eyes. It's best to do this guided meditation. It's the blue flame of awareness, deity meditation, but we will take you to Kailash. So put your earplug. It would be best to do it. And this is a great time to do it. There's no commercial, no interruption. So enjoy the drive. Enjoy the journey. May we have the music? Tranquility. Everyone is comfortable. Take a deep breath. We don't hear the music. Louder. No, not hearing. No, I don't hear. Louder. Much louder. Something is wrong. Can you look? It's not good enough. Okay. That's much better. Yeah, the microphone is better. It's too loud now. Okay. Now, a little higher. Okay, it's perfect. Is that good? Beloved, take a deep breath.
You don't hear it because speaker is not facing you.
Okay.
They hear it.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Good. Perfect. Good. Yeah, from here I don't hear it. Well, take a deep breath. Tense your body. Tense everything. Like tense. Your knee, your legs, your make a feast. Tense your torso. Tense, everything, and release. Completely release. And relax deeply into your breath. Now take another deep breath. Conscious, mindful breath. Tense, make a feast. Tense your belly, torso, your neck, your head, everything. And then let go, relax into this one. Allow the give. Yeah, yawn. If you feel like yawning, yawn completely, let go. And take the last one. Make a feast again. Tense. And every muscle. And you completely let go. Completely let go in this moment. Now you are in the Himalaya, and it's so beautiful. You at the bottom, right at the bottom. And you see in this phenomenal peak of snow. It looks like a linga. A linga is a divine energy form. It's a mountain, a natural rock made of powerful divine energy, and it has snow. And it's calling you. You want to go right on top. And you're walking by the Ganga River. And your feet are in the Ganga River, right on the periphery. And as you walk, feel your feet in the water. Your feet are bathing into the Ganga. You feel like you're floating. And you're floating above the Ganga River. And as you're walking, you realize you're starting to float. You're walking on the water. See yourself, feel yourself floating on the water. And the Ganga River is taking you. And you're going up and you're going up. But it requires from you some self-effort. And then you're starting to breathe deeper and deeper. Now you start breathing deep from your nostril and you exhale. Mother Ganga took you to the peak at the bottom, but now it's up to you to climb the top, to go closer to Mount Kailash, where there is a beautiful, mystical, etheric, divine lake, Lake Manasovar. But you got to climb, and you need to trek really, really hard. So you start breathing deep. I want you to start breathing from your nostril. You're climbing, you're going faster and faster. This is a Kriya, so please breathe. Exhale, you breathe from your nostril and exhale from your mouth. Without hyperventilating, but you're going faster and faster, deep. Breathe. And you're getting closer and closer. And breathe deeper. Exhale, inhale from your nostril. Exhale from your mouth. We should be hearing you. You know when you're climbing and you go out of breath? Inhale the life force energy. Release everything. You're getting closer and closer. See Mount Kailash. The divine energy is calling your soul and your spirit. You want to merge with its divine presence. Keep on breathing. Inhale deep. Exhale from your mouth. You're getting closer and closer. You're almost to the lake now. And you almost arrive. Now you see this very peaceful lake. It's vast and quiet and it's moonlight, full moonlight. And Mount Kailash is reflecting with the moon on the lake. And there's this divine presence about this mystical place. And you want to go and bathe in the lake. You put your feet and you go soak in it. And no one is there except you, except the moon. The full moon reflect stillness. See the moon cool and bright, and feel the divine presence that constantly emanates. That divine presence is always there, omnipotent, omnipresent, unchanging, and is within your own being. That is the ultimate divine presence of the Supreme Creator. And that is also your divine presence. Lay down. As you lay down, you start floating. You're floating and floating and feeling so calm, so peaceful. Everything about you, you have let go. Let go of all boundaries, of all energy habit, of the mind. You have let go of ego. You have let go of all that is causing sorrow. Everything that needs to be healed is being healed right now in this presence. As you're dissolving, you're like salt, a block of salt melting into the divine energy of that mystical lake of divine, supreme, mystical energy. See yourself dissolving like salt, like sea salt. You feed every particle of your being. Your toes, your ankle, your knee, your thigh is all melting and dissolving into this divine energy of divine love. Your reproductive organs, your small intestine, your large intestine, your kidney, your liver, your spleen, your lungs, your heart, your skeleton, your blood, everything, your arms, your hands, your chest, your neck, your gums, your teeth, everything about you is melting. Your jaw, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your brain. See it melting into the light of the divine presence. Your head, your hair, everything has dissolved. only your divine presence is still. See your higher self, you may call it your higher self, is the same as your divine presence, or your Satchitananda, the same. See yourself, your etheric body, see sitting as the Buddha, one who is awakened, that's just what it means, or as a divine being of light, as a deity. It's all form of light. It radiates a powerful white light. And see, go with your consciousness and go right straight to your ajna, to your third eye. Now bring the blue flame of awareness. The blue flame of awareness is the blue pearl. The blue flame of the awareness, Devi Ma always says, is your magical wand of your thoughts, your words, your action, and your volition. And that's how you gain mastery over yourself. Now bring that blue flame of awareness, see a blue flame, and then it becomes the blue pearl. And the blue pearl becomes a sharp, radiant white light. Focus on it, on your third eye, right in your third eye. Now, in that blue pearl, it's a seed pack. The whole cosmos is in it. Every deity, every ascended master. The supreme intelligence is there, what we call God. Hold it and call upon a beloved one. It could be any deity, or for you maybe is God, the impersonal, whatever you hold the highest. Can be a spiritual master, it can be a deity, and hold that vision. And inhale that divine presence. Consciously inhale that blue pearl. Invite the deity within your third eye. And see yourself melting as one with that deity. And as you're melting, you become the blue pearl. You become the blue flame of awareness. When you become one with Aditi, you become one with everything, the whole of existence. All the blue pearl. And the more and more you deeply melting into this deep, deep healing, the deep calm. Everything there is pure consciousness. There is only bliss. Everything is forgotten, forgiven. Everything is healed by the grace of the Supreme Intelligence of our Creator, by the grace of all Ascended Master. And if you feel like crying, or tomorrow or later, allow it, whatever may happen in the coming days. If you feel like to scream tomorrow or in the coming days, now see in your Anahata, go into your heart chakra. There is a door you haven't opened yet, beloved, or a window. Open. Allow that gate to open. See yourself, see your etheric body, and go open the gate. Allow the light, allow the pranic divine energy to flow in, allow the healing by the grace of God that has so many millions of names. Feel the divine presence, the loving energy, healing every particle of your being. Feel the calm, the bliss, that quiet bliss. Now the Divine Mother takes you like her baby. She takes you in her arm and she envelops you with divine love, engulf you and hold you. feel a presence. Feel the divine love entering your heart. His pure divine love, healing energy, enlightened energy, soothing your soul and your spirit. You have become that deity. Slowly, slowly, see your body rematerializing, but it's made out of light. A new skeleton is formed. It's like a spiral. New blood system is flowing within you. New heart has been born. And new lymph, new lungs, made out of divine energy and divine love. New legs, new arms, new intestine, new reproductive organs, new throat, new brain, new jaw, new teeth, form beautiful teeth, beautiful smile, new skin and brand new eyes, and new air. See it, it's all rematerializing. See every particle forming and reforming a new body temple. And you're floating on Lake Manasova. And from there, you walk slowly, coming out, and you're made out of light. And now you can float and fly to Mount Kailash. And you just fly in one, not even a second, it's a flash of light. You are right there on the peak. Where Shiva is known to be. Mount Kailash is the most powerful place on earth. For many of you who don't know, is the adobe of Shiva. The Lord of the Yugi, we may say, in the sense, Adi Yogi Shiva, who brought the science of self-realization of the yogic path. It's been known that he abided there, he lived, his spirit, soul. There is Shiva as the first guru who brought the lineage of ascended master. And there's also Shiva, that which that is known, that is unknown, I meant, which is infinite, which is darkness. Not to confuse the two. And now you're floating in Mount Kailash. Just feel the energy. Pure consciousness. And slowly, you're flying through the universe. See the nebula, see new sun and new galaxy forming. Traverse through darkness. And as an innocent lamb, see darkness and see the light all at once. And you're traversing through universe and universe. You have surrendered everything to the Almighty. You are a pure innocent baby and crossing through space and time. Now you're coming back on earth. See yourself flying, coming closer and closer and closer. And now you're penetrating to the spheres of Mother Earth, right into the Himalaya. And you're back to the Ganga River. And then she brings you down, so you're floating slowly, coming back from Mount Kailash. And as you're floating down, you know you can never be the same. You have just shed a skin like a snake. And you're coming closer and closer to the bottom. Slowly, slowly. Take your own time. Take your own time. And then bow down to the divinity that you are. See yourself. Bow down to all ascended master. And bow down to your teacher. Express your gratitude for the beautiful mystical journey you have taken. Take your own time, take your own time. Whenever you're ready, turn on your right side very gently by supporting you so you turn like a baby, like with your legs put together without being very mindful of your lower back, or you can even stretch. Take your time. Don't come out of it too fast. What is it, Prashant? What is it? What does that mean?
Battery going down.
Oh, okay. And so for you, beloved, do the same online. We will depart in silence tonight. I'm asking every one of you to remain in silence. I promise you next satsang we will have tea. And we have some announcement next satsang. And so it's very, very important that you keep silence until tomorrow. Don't look at your phone. Don't talk with your beloved. Just stay in that energy and reflect and meditate on the satsang this evening. Ask yourself those profound questions. What is my biggest boundary and limitation now in my life? What are my energy habits? And how can I go deeper on my spiritual path? And reflect on that. And if you have any question, you can come back to the satsang on the live stream. Write down your question in the description and I will answer it. Or if it's something more relevant, then maybe we'll discuss it in the next Satsang. Feel free to email as well. Sometime we do video or Satsang based on a question. So start tonight practicing mastery of your own energy. Let's see how mindful you are tonight. Can you keep silence? Keeping silent doesn't mean just not talking. It's mean noble silence is to go inward and self-introspect and contemplate and meditate and not paying attention to sensory impression. And sensory impression goes with energy habit, and they go with impulsion, compulsion, stimulus, response. So we will depart and honor and power your divine presence tonight. Keep silence until tomorrow morning. And next satsang, it will be about ego. So all of you stay tuned. And if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you can do so in the comment section. And we will see you next satsang. Namaste. I'm here for you.